Hey y'all, we're gonna do something a little different this week. I'm gonna be doing a tattoo tour of my own tattoos, and I'm gonna be going through a lot of them while I'm at the gym. So I'm walking in there now. A lot of my tattoos are actually done by people I've known really well over the years or have worked with over the years. So I'm gonna use this as an opportunity both to show you guys, my art on me and plug some of my favorite people. I'm going to be inserting some clips from a tattoo I got to do this week on my client who has now become my friend Regina. We've been working on a full color floral sleeve on her for a while now, and we're going to be adding a magnolia flower to that in this. So enjoy. This is what we're working on today. It's a cute little custom magnolia flower for Regina that we're going to be doing in color on her forearm. What I normally do is I print out a few different sizes of the design. That way clients can pick the one that fits their body and their budget. You guys are going to have to bear with me on the audio today. It's always really loud in here, but hopefully these little mics help. When I had the idea to do a tattoo tour, I thought it could be pretty cool, but I figured it could get kind of boring if you're just watching me sit in the studio and talk about the tattoos on me. So I thought it'd be a little more fun to do one at the gym. So another reason I decided to do this video at the gym is because I actually just got accepted at a gym where they certify you to be a personal trainer and train with them. Tattooing and being active are two of the biggest parts of my life, so I figured why not combine them. So one of the tattoos I'm going to start with talking about is my hand. It was done by my friend Dylan Smith. Dylan actually tattoos in Richmond, Virginia now, but I met him while we were both working at a shop here in Orange County called Engineering. Dylan has actually done a lot of my tattoos, and I plan on having him do a lot more. Another one he did was my forearm, which I'll show, better videos and pictures of it around here. He also did my back, which I'll get a lot better footage of when we go do some more workouts in the other room. Dylan is actually one of my best friends. I'm super sad he moved to Virginia, but I've been lucky enough to go tattoo out there at Fable Tattoo Gallery twice now. I'll definitely attach some videos and pictures and stuff of his work all around. We got that stencil all put on there. This is the arm that we've been working on. Go ahead and rest your arm for me real quick. I love Regina's flower tattoos. Just some more clips of her arm. Here's some more we've done on her. I absolutely love how her sleeve is coming out. This is another one I got to do on Regina. She actually won one of my tattoo raffles, so we used that for the outline and then we got to color it. So Dylan is also working on my back. It is my whole back and butt. So far, we only have the outline done. I did it on my last trip to Virginia in September, but hopefully we'll be working on it soon. I definitely want to make it out there and do another trip. I will say, out of all my tattoos, my back and butt was probably the most painful so far, which I guess makes sense. It's pretty big. The tailbone is not for the weak people. So I'm mainly going to focus on my upper body tattoos today because I have quite a few tattoos, if you hadn't guessed. So I think it'd be a little hard to go through all of them. The next one I'm going to talk about and next artist, so I can kind of group them that way, is one by my good friend Bob. Bob has probably done the most tattoos on me. So the one we're going to talk about first is my pianist. I would say the shoulder is probably around like a 2 out of 10. Probably my least painful tattoo, and I would say that for both shoulders, which Bob actually did my cutie butterfly also. Another one Bob did is my upper forearm tattoo, my little dagger and snake. Again, I would say forearm is a pretty easy area to get tattooed. I would have rated it maybe like a 3 out of 10 again. Another tattoo that Bob did on me is actually my mermaid on my inner bicep. It is a bearded mermaid. I'm also going to show you what I do to work out my biceps as well as a lot of other muscle groups in my arms. I do a lot of combo exercises, so it hits quite a few different muscle areas. So another one I'm going to talk about today that Bob did on me is another one on my other forearm. The cool thing behind this tattoo is it's actually a painting that Bob had made for my mentor who taught me how to tattoo. When I was apprenticing, Bob worked at the shop that my mentor did for most of the time I was apprenticing. So Bob is another huge, huge influence on my tattooing. I would actually give Bob a lot of credit for how I treat my customers and my relationship with my customers because while I was apprenticing, I saw Bob have literally the greatest relationship with a lot of his clients who I know have been coming to him for a really long time. Okay, so we're doing day 2 at the gym because I actually didn't get to finish recording yesterday. So the next group of tattoos I want to talk about on my arms are all by one of my friends named Joseph. He's done a lot more on my legs, but we'll get to those another time. Joseph did the flames on my elbow, which again I'll insert better pictures and stuff of around here. He also did the gear on my left arm, which is a matching tattoo with everyone who's worked at Engineer Inc. over a year, the shop that I worked at for a long time before getting my studio. So the tradition behind that tattoo is that whoever got the tattoo last gives it to the next person. So it's a little timeline of who's worked there. And so now I technically have a matching tattoo with a bunch of different artists. The other ones that Joseph did on my arm are on my hands. So they're all my little finger tattoos. Again, I'll plug some pictures. The fingertips we actually did right after we did the flames on my elbows. So we did them the same day. I don't know if that's what made it so painful, but my fingertips hurt. They were probably just as bad as my tailbone. So what I've heard is technically we have a bunch of nerve endings that meet in our fingertips and obviously in our tailbone because of the end of our spine, which can make the tattoo more painful. So fingertips, I would probably say were like a 9 out of 10. They're pretty bad. I got to work with Joseph for a really long time at Engineer Inc. We worked on and off together for at least a few years, and then we became really good friends outside of that. He still works in California, luckily. He now works at a shop in Covina called the American Dream. So I will put his socials around here. Another really, really cool artist to get tattooed by. As I said, he's done a lot of work on my legs too, but we'll get to those another time. He does a lot of American traditional, a lot of black and green color, but he's also really, really good at realism. And we're all done. It came out so pretty. So the next ones I'm going to talk about on my arms are actually by an artist I taught how to tattoo. Her name is Laura Gonzalez. She did my Venus flytrap. More pictures. And she did my crab claw. I got the Venus flytrap on my arm because when I was a kid, I really liked these books called Judy Moody. And she had a Venus flytrap in it that would keep dying. And its name was Jaws. So this one I called Jaws. But when I was a kid, my mom knew how much I liked this book, and so she would actually buy me Venus flytraps all the time, and they don't stay alive. So I can't tell you how many different jaws I've had. But now there's one alive on my arm forever. The other one she did on my wrist is that crab claw. That's actually because I'm a Cancer zodiac. My birthday just passed. It was on June 23rd. But yeah, so it's my obligatory Cancer tattoo. Pain-wise, the outside of the arm wasn't that bad at all. Same thing as this one that I was talking about. The worst part about it was probably having to keep your arm turned out the whole time while you're getting tattooed. It wasn't the actual tattoo pain. It was more the soreness of having my arm turned the whole time. Again, as I mentioned with the fingertips, the wrist has a lot of nerve endings, so definitely one of the more painful spots. So luckily it was pretty quick once we got on that one area. I would say pain-wise, I'd maybe give it like a 7 out of 10. Me and Laura actually go way back. We met in middle school, went to high school together, and then even went to college together for art at Cal State Fullerton. And then I taught her how to tattoo. We ended up owning a private studio together, and then she moved away. But she's still tattooing, which is amazing. It makes me happy that someone I taught how to tattoo is still out there working and did just throw away that knowledge. But she's a great artist. She does a lot of spooky themed tattoos, a lot of Halloween themed stuff. She loves Disney, a lot of like more animated tattoos. Daphne's tattoos spotted in the wild. Oh shit. Thank you so much for watching. I've had so much fun making these so far. I know we're only on our second video, but it really brings me back to feeling like a little kid, like when I used to perform in front of my family or sing in front of my family. I absolutely love it. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps me out, especially as a new channel. And then, of course, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Daphne Love Tattoo. And I'll see you guys next week.